Panasonic FZ2000/2500 compared with the Panasonic FZ330. Small little bridge camera. Let's compare a little bit the video quality of these two cameras. Hello YouTubers, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I would like to talk to you about two cameras. And I'm talking about in this video about video quality of these two cameras, and that would be the Panasonic FZ2000, which I am filming at the moment, so that's why I don't have in my hands. And the second is the Panasonic FZ330, this little bridge camera. I have to tell you that I am amazed about the quality of this little thing, you know, and I just wanted to compare with my camera, with my FZ2000, and I'm blown away of the quality, you know, of this thing. So my neighbor actually, he asked my opinion, you know, what do I think, what kind of camera he should get for his family and blah blah, and I suggested him, you know, to buy this camera. And he actually was so kind and he lended me this camera for a test, you know. He said, look, you can have it for a week or something and just test it out, you know. So I was testing out this camera all together with my FZ2000, you know. I wanted to compare because this camera has a 1/2.3 type sensor, and the FZ2000 has a 1-inch sensor. So it's a pretty big difference between the sensor size. But in the same time, you know, we are talking about 4K video and Full HD video, and I have to tell you that in video, you know, this camera is just something amazing. So when we have good lighting possibilities. So I don't really want to talk about the specifications, you know. You can find the specifications anywhere on YouTube, you know, that's not a big issue. I just want to talk about the important things, you know, what is very important in this camera. This camera has the tilty flippy screen like most of the Panasonic cameras, you know, has a nice bright viewfinder and has a mic input over here. And the mic input, it's not in the way of the screen, so whenever you want to turn the screen, even if the cable is plugged in, you are able to turn the screen and you are able to see the screen even if the cable is plugged in, because the cable is up here, so it's not in the way. It is very good if you want to vlog or something like that, for vlogging. Now, the camera has also optical image stabilization, 5-axis, so if you do handheld video shooting like that, you know, it would be perfect. And I tell you, I will show you a video footage and I will show you a comparison, you know, between the two cameras, and you will see what I'm talking about. So I think the best way it would be if we would move into my computer and let's see the footage, you know, what I've shot with the Panasonic FZ330 and the FZ2000. So let's get into my computer. So we are in my computer now, and let's see some test footage, you know, shot with the Panasonic FZ2000 and the Panasonic FZ330. Now I have to tell you that like I told you, I was blown away by the image quality of this small little camera. And as you can see over here, you know, on the left side you can see the Panasonic FZ330, and on the right side you will see the Panasonic FZ2000/2500. Now I was shooting handheld, you know, like vlogging style, so I'm not really used to that, so I'm sorry if sometimes, you know, you could see that my hand is moving, especially because I had in both of my hands, you know, I had camera, so I was looking at one and the other camera, you know, one after the other. But anyway, you can see over here the dynamic range of these two cameras, because as you can see, you know, in the background you could see a big part of the screen is the sky. And you can see that the sky is not really blown out, you know, like even here, you know, at the FZ330, you can see that you have plenty of details in the sky. There is a part where it is better on the FZ2000, but that is understandable because it's like the price is double end, you know. The FZ2000, it's like 1,300, 1,200 euro, and this one is 500, so it's less than half price. But in the same time, if you look at the video quality, you know, just like the sharpness and the quality of the footage, you know, it is brilliant. I mean, this is brilliant, I have to tell you. You can see over here now the FZ330 with the recorder on the top, you know, and the cable plugged in the camera. So you can see that the screen is turned and it is still it's not in the way of the cable. Now let's move a little bit forward, and at the end, you know, I will post this I will put this video, you know, just in full screen, so you can see what you can see a little bit closer, you know, the quality. So let's move a little bit forward. Now, if we get over here, this is another footage, you know, from the river, you know, and the port of Waterford. And you can see up here the FZ330, and down here you will see the FZ2000. Now again, if you have a look on these two footage, you know, you will see that it is just great, you know. It's, I don't know, it's I don't know what to say. I mean look at these two footages, you know, like the quality is it's the same. Like, I don't really see any difference in quality, I tell you. And both of the cameras had the same settings, you know. It's no difference in the setting at all. And I will post some photos, you know. So I will show you some photos so you can see the photo quality of this camera, these two cameras. And even in photo, you know, it's like, I don't know, it's unbelievably close to one to each other. So I don't really see any difference in it. And the FZ330, like I said, it's a 1/2.3 sensor, and the FZ2000 is a 1-inch sensor. So it's a big difference, you know. If you think that it's a small little camera, you know, this is an amazing quality, image quality. Now let's see some photos now. So let's see some photo examples and the difference between the FZ2000 and the FZ330. Now, as you can see, it's on the left side. You will see the Panasonic FZ330, and you can see the pixel size over here. It's 4144 pixel by 3016 pixel, which is 12 megapixel roughly, because this camera has 12 megapixel. Now the FZ2000 has 20 megapixel, and you can see over here that it is 5488 pixels by 3664 pixels. So the image quality of the cameras, I would say, and on this side, like I said, it's a 1/2.3 type sensor, and here's a 1-inch sensor. So the sensor bit, if we compare the sensor size, you know, this is much smaller, but still the image quality, it is great, I have to tell you. I mean, if you look at these two photos, you know, you will be, I mean, I don't really see a difference, you know, if I look at the quality, like the clarity, you know, of the image, and it's not really, you know, it's not really, there is no big difference in it. Like I said, there was good lighting conditions outside, you know, and that's true, but in the same time, you know, it should be bigger difference, I would say, because this is much bigger sensor. But at the end of the day, you know, this is a great little sensor. So let's move on further. Now you can see over here the exact same scenario, you know, in both of the cameras, and you can see that it's nothing really, no difference. Like, you know, it's, I don't know. Look. Image quality, it's, well, this is the FZ2000 would be a little bit sharper, just a touch. You can see over here that it is sharper, just a little bit. Here you can see that this is the FZ2000, it is sharper a little bit. You can see over here now, if I zoom in further in, you can see that there is a little bit more detail in here. But that is negligible, I would say, if we compare, you know, the two sensor size. Obviously the FZ2000 will be better, you know. This is kind of unfair comparison, you know, but still, I just want to show you how good is this small little sensor, you know. Again, we have over here on the left side, you know, the FZ330, right side FZ2000, and look at the image quality. I mean, it's ridiculously good, I tell you. And these, by the way, these are all raw files. You can see over here that they are raw files, and they are unedited raw files. How they came out of the camera, this is just like that, you know, it's not edited at all. Now, I think, in my opinion, that for the size of the sensor, this camera, it is just amazingly good. Now, let's see some pictures which actually was edited. You know, I edited a few photos, and I want to show you a few photos in JPEG. FZ330. Now, I made a panoramic image out of 3 images here, and you can see that it's brilliant quality. You know, this is again from it's a little bit, I didn't do any big editing, you know, just a little bit in DX Optics Pro, so it's just a raw converter. You know, it's like Lightroom editing, something like that. So there is nothing major editing in there. But as you can see, the image quality is brilliant, you know, if you look at it. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you could see, you know, the difference between the two cameras, which is very small actually. And in video, I didn't really see any difference. In photo, you can see some difference between the FZ2000 and the FZ330. And that is understandable. I mean, this is an unfair comparison, you know, if we think a little bit, because this is a 1.1/2.3 sensor and that is a 1-inch sensor, so the sensor difference is very big. So in photography, you know, photography-wise, obviously the photos will be much better. But video-wise, you know, this camera is amazing. You know, like even in photography-wise, if you have good lighting conditions, this is a great little camera, I tell you. Disadvantage what I see for myself, a single SD card slot down here, you know, that's a little bit bummer, you know, like would be better here like the FZ2000, but anyway, that's the disadvantage I see in the FZ2000 as well, you know, the single SD card slot, but you can't expect for this price point, you know, to have dual SD card slot. I mean, would be ridiculous, you know. Anyway, but that's the only real disadvantage, you know, I see. For the price point, like I said, this is an amazing camera. I mean, for 500 euro, I don't know if you could buy something else. I mean, you could buy a camera, you know, for 500 euro, which is interchangeable lens, and then you have to add lenses, that's true. But if you want an all-in-one package for 500 euro, this is very good, it is great, I tell you. So, I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. I hope that you liked it. I just wanted to show you, you know, to compare the image quality with a larger sensor so you can see what this camera is capable of. If you have some questions, feel free and leave a comment down below. If you have different opinion, you know, that's okay again. Feel free and leave a comment down below, you know, we can discuss it in a professional manner. I'm only a human being, so I can make mistakes as well. But I try to help others, you know, to make a wise decision when you want to purchase camera gear, you know. So if you have any kind of question about this camera, feel free to ask, you know. I will try to answer best of my knowledge, and I hope that it will be helpful to you. So I wish you a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.